Oh,
happy Thursday.
What time it is? A Truthful Chat Thursday, baby. We hope everyone had a pleasant week, a great time. We had fun. We've done some fun things.
Did we?
I think we did. I can't recall them right now.
You know why?
But
Because
I feel like it was a good time.
the holiday week is always
the holiday was mad fun
to come back to, because you still kind of have that holiday hangover, but then you're in whatever regular mode is for you.
I don't exist in regular mode.
Oh God!
It's Juneteenth Part 2, baby. Hello, the Not Like Us video came out. I was in Euphoria for the last.
No pun intended, but pun intended.
But pun super intended. It's the West, baby. You see it? Anyway, we're not here to talk about any of that. But we always are. Shout out to the king. Anyway, it's July. It is hot as Lucifer's draws outside. Really, no matter where you live. Apparently, though, there was a hurricane or a tornado in Houston. I don't know what's going on. I know there was one in Jamaica.
Your cousin doesn't have power.
What's going on? Why does this be happening in the summer? I don't know.
And Houston, that area has been really, really hard hit over the last
H-Town
3 or 4 months. Every time I talk to my family, they like, it's raining, it's storming, it's this, it's that.
Global boiling. It's not even global warming anymore. It's global boiling. Anyway, none of those are fun topics, okay? It's still the summertime. Despite the drama, the foolishness, as we always say, because life be life in. We're talking about fun, okay? Almost. We're going to figure out how to
Joyful July. That's what we're going to call it.
And some joy into our lives and activities and everything above. So if that sounds like something you're down for, something you're into, you like, yo, everything is crazy, but I'm still committed to fun, then you need to stick around, okay? You really need to stick around because this episode is for you.
Hi, I'm Pam Williams, a mother.
And I'm Jessica E. Williams, a daughter. And this is a mother and a daughter truthful chat, where we discuss our 35-year multi-layered relationship.
We've been through so many ups and downs. Not only are we family, but we're business partners in the high-stress world of event planning and production for short films.
We've also shared the same therapist for over 10 years. What some people call codependence, we call collaboration.
So join us as we share stories from our lives,
have candid conversations with other mother-daughter duos,
and shed light on the roller coaster ride of being a woman while raising a woman.
Yo! We're back. Y'all know what time it is. Mugs up. Welcome to Truthful Chats. Shout out to the Woman Evolve podcast and the delegation.
Oh, that's what you have today.
Always. Because we support other podcasts. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you listen to ours and no one else. That just sounds dumb. Anyway, welcome. If this is
what are you drinking?
Shalom. I am drinking my Get Through Life concoction. It is hydration, Plexus Active, collagen. It's all the things. It's my youthful elixir to stay young and exponentially melanated.
Mm-hmm. I am drinking lemonade.
I think I got a little lemonade and water in my
juice. Lemonade.
Because we're making lemonade out of life's lemons.
Life gives you lemons. You like.
Because who knows what else 2024 has in store. We know November's coming up. Everybody is already on eggshells. Did you see the whites in Nashville? They was outside on their holiday. The colonizer was colonizing. Say Drake.
With no interference from the law of the authorities.
Which is really Black people. That's our problem. When we do it, y'all don't have no problem interfering. When the melanin is lacking, it's like they have freedom of speech. They should do what they want. Anyway, there was also a melanated brigade. So that started again. We haven't really seen that since like
here we go.
The Trump era days. But irregardlessly. Whether this is I know that's not a real word. I have 2 degrees. Anyway, whether it's your first time with us or you have been an A1 since day one, we're so glad you're back. Truthful Chats is our weekly podcast series that we do every week, every Thursday, under our larger brand and moniker called Create Generational Wellness, which is the message, okay? The message. And every month we have a theme. And then Truthful Chats is where we unpack that theme some more with either two of us or some of our lovely friends and trusted professionals, melanated usually and with degrees. And we just talk. We just talk honestly, truthfully, candidly about
Melanated
all the things. So our theme of the month is fun, as we've said repeatedly, even though we brought up the fact that life be life in. But still, we are committed
get over that
to fun.
Into the fun.
Okay?
Into the fun, especially in the summertime.
Life is short, okay? We done been through some things in the last couple of years. Everybody's priorities done changed, as they should, okay? And fun should definitely be at the top, okay, of your list. Anyway, today's episode is fun, music, and
joy.
Okay. So it's going to be a great time. We do have a special guest, okay? So you won't just hear us talking, okay? But it's going to be exciting. So I'll take it away. Mother.
Yes, I'm so excited. We do have a special guest. She is one of the most joyful people I know. Thanks. I don't care when you see her. I don't care what's going on. And I be knowing things are going on, but she still manages somehow to exude joy and effervescence and all the things whenever you see her. I want to see the Inside Out 2 movie this weekend because they say that joy is a very prevalent thing in the movie. So,
and you need to be staying indoors where it's cool. So,
yes, so
movies is fun. Okay.
She will talk about that. Anyway, she is a songstress. She is a
songbird,
a musician. She is a professor.
Come on, Professor. Degrees.
She is all the things related to music. And again, the most joyful person I know. Meet Miss Erin Horton.
Whoop, whoop. Start clapping right now.
See, don't you see the joy? The plants, the smile, the orange, the things. You can see the joy all over her already. Hey, Erin, thanks for joining us.
Hi, thank y'all for having me. Seriously, it's an honor to be here with y'all.
I don't know about all that, but you know, we're happy.
It's so dope. Like y'all are some of the dopest people I know. So no, thanks a lot.
We love having you. We love having you. So tell the people, I gave a little bit of who you are and what you do and all that, but tell the people who you are, what you do, how you do what you do. Just start and then we'll jump in.
And feel free to, I always tell people, especially, I tell Black people, period, but particularly Black women, this is where you get to brag, okay? Brag on your degrees, brag on your credentials, just be on your
all the things that you know you are.
Do that.
Blada.
Do that. You can do that.
Wow. Okay. So I am Erin Monique. I am a songstress as well as a songwriter. And I am a teacher, a professor at Los Angeles City College. I sing with quite a couple of groups with DC6 Collective. We just did the Juneteenth concert at the Hollywood Bowl. We're out here doing the things. But I do studio work as well as live shows, and have my own live show coming up soon too, which is exciting. And I think I do a little bit of everything. I work with the school in the Race, Equity, and Social Justice Department to make sure Black voices are being presented, as well as policies breaking down that'll create obstacles to Black success. So I'm like, wherever I can be of assistance, and you know I'm at church. Amen and amen. Also singing with the praise team and loving on the Lord. So yeah, we do a little bit of everything. A couple of degrees.
It takes it up a notch.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever you sing at church, I mean the joy part. You know, you not the praise team is lovely. It's great all the time. But whenever your voice comes out, it's like, oh, it's like a oh. So
well,
that's
thank you.
Girl, that's the sound you make.
I'm a soprano at the top.
She was saying church was over. And they were just up there singing, the band was, and they gave Erin the mic, and everybody turned around like, oh, right? That's what I'm saying. It was good.
That's fine. I just wanted to clarify that that was the actual sound.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho. That's great. Okay, so multi-talented, degreed,
Activist.
activist.
I left that part out.
Social justice, equity warrior.
We gotta do it.
Hello. And we're from where originally?
I was born in New Orleans and raised Birmingham, Alabama. So civil rights it's part of my being in my blood, in my family. So we got to be out here.
Okay, representing for the South in all the best ways possible. Okay,
the best ways.
Got to let them know. We got to let them know. So I think,
is your family musically inclined? Like,
yes. So it's interesting. So my dad's side, my great grandmother used to tour with her sisters in a quartet, and they sang. And that was my grandfather's side, and my grandmother's side, my mom, her family, they ran the clubs that were in New Orleans. And so that's on that side. My mom's side, everybody plays the flute. We all were a marching band, played every flute possible. And so musically inclined on both sides, one more instruments and the other one singing. I had so many family members in music. So I'm just the first one to get a degree in it. It was like it was supposed to be.
But key word, this New Orleans. Everybody I've ever known from New Orleans
is in you.
Y'all just be next level. I hear it's the same thing in Nashville with like everybody can sing. I've never been there, but like I hear it's like, but New Orleans, it's a whole
thing.
Just
because that's who you are. Like music is in the food, in the fun. It's in when you're eating and humming. Like it's everywhere. Like whatever you do, there's music. So yes,
I love it. Okay, so so you're talking about family ties, music, food, heritage, DNA. Essentially, if you will, not being taken out of your element. So is there can you pinpoint, is there a family member or a particular person or someone who has always highlighted joy and positivity? Where you think you learned this from, or you picked it up, or do you just I was born like this?
Yeah.
Is it a nature versus nurture situation?
Or both?
You know what? I think it's both. Part of my personality, but my family always found a reason to celebrate. Whenever we got together, part of it is Black culture. When we get together, even if it's a funeral, we about to have a good time. And so my family, whenever we get together, whatever side, whether I was in New Orleans or I was in Birmingham, we were together, we were laughing, we were having fun, we were loving on each other. And that, no matter what it looked like, that was the biggest thing, because we didn't always have a ton and life could look any type of way. But when we got together, we were always going to have fun. And so I think I picked up on that at a very young age, plus it being part of the personality. But family definitely instilled that. But I have my papa, my dad's dad. And when I tell you, first of all, he was like, "What you upset for?" I'm sorry.
I said, what did you call your grandmother again? You said, what did you call your grandmother?
It's so in New Orleans, my grandfather is my papa and my grandmother is mama. And then in Alabama, it's my grandmother.
A little sprinkle French in there. It's a little Creole energy.
Sprinkle. Yeah. And so papa, he was always like, "So what you upset for? Like, don't you believe? Didn't God say? What we doing?" So he will always give a reality check, even if things look crazy. Papa, he didn't play that. He was always like, "I got my little cookies and I'm good to go. Life is good." Like, he was losing his sight at one point, in mobility. He was like, "I'm just sitting here and watching my TV and I can do what I want when I want to." And so, it was always his resolve that no matter what life looked like, that it was still something beautiful and something wonderful to experience. So, yeah.
Simple pleasures. I feel like those generations just kind of understood, which makes sense, which we've talked about. If you go back and watch our February episodes for Black History Month, for anybody who's unfamiliar, we sort of talked about the evolution of really just the African American experience of this country. And so, you know, at a time where people couldn't necessarily always be, we think life is life and now, okay? But at least we have laws and things in place sometimes to protect us. And
that's true.
Sometimes and for now, we'll see. America, the season finale is loading. But you know, when you hear like people from those generations of being just like, just enjoy the simple things and be grateful and happy for what you have, because things could be a lot worse and things could look a lot different. And so I think just feeling that, not that we shouldn't strive for more or want more, but I think that instills a certain level of gratitude, right? And whenever you come from a place of gratitude, then that allows you to make space for more joy, more happiness, more abundance, just because you're coming from a more positive mindset than everything is doom and gloom or super negative or whatever the case may be. So that's dope. Shout out to all the grandparents for that.
Please still do. Yes, 100. Yes. But I'm sorry.
Go on. You go.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that I really do feel like it is the essence of joy. What you just said was appreciating the small things, because when you have joy, it's not built on circumstances, right? And so if it's not based off of circumstances, because the definition of joy is to like experience pleasure and happiness, right? Happiness is circumstantial, but joy isn't. And why is that? You can experience joy and happiness, but you don't necessarily have joy if you're happy. And I thought that was so crazy. But having an appreciation, joy leads you to have an appreciation and gratefulness and an awe and wonder of things, regardless of the circumstances, because they allow you to see the beauty in things, which leads you to be more grateful, which leads you to a place of peace. And if you're in this place of peace, then you're not swayed by what reality looks like, because you're in a place of peace based off the gratefulness. And so this joy, yes, I don't even know what to say next, but like, it's just,
you're preaching.
The old people used to sing a song that said, "This joy I have, the world didn't give it and the world can't take it away." I know growing up in Birmingham.
Yes. We sang
it. Yep. World didn't give it, the world can't take it away. I feel like, you know how people say, what's your secret weapon? What's your thing? I feel like joy is your secret sauce. It's your secret weapon. Would you agree? And if you do, tell me more about that.
Joy as a secret weapon. Then,
if you feel like that. If you feel like that.
Is it a secret? Yes. You know what? I will have to say joy for me as a secret weapon would be just kind of like the ability to find awe and wonder and pleasure in anything and in life. And that is a secret weapon, honestly, because we are inundated daily by so many different things. And it's easy to get bogged down by those. And so knowing how to find pleasure, knowing how to find peace through gratefulness is a secret weapon. And it doesn't have to be a secret. Everybody should tap into that, you know? And so it's like one of the best things to experience, because living in LA by yourself in the industry can be a whole lot. And so being able to say, oh my gosh, thank you just for, I have a car, I have an apartment, I live by myself. You know, like, or just
let's go back. Don't skip over that. To live by yourself in Los Angeles is a
flex,
privilege,
honor, gratitude.
And I don't know.
May the odds never be in your favor.
Yes and amen, and thank you, Father. But with that being said, like being able to notice and being able to tap into those things really provides me a place of rest. So finding that peace and that rest, because it's hard. It's really, really hard. But if we always were reminded of what the beautiful things that we have accomplished. And then you're able to see the beautiful things happening for other people. And then you get to rejoice in that. And so then it creates this domino effect of like, oh, this is really cool in front of me. But then this person got to experience that. Get it? And then you get to encourage them. And then, you know, you'll see it in the next person. Then you'll just see, yeah, I'm surrounded by flowers and plants because the beauty of nature in and of itself, you get to just simply be in awe that I know I ain't doing what I'm supposed to, and these plants still thriving. Yes, you know, the beauty of nature in and of itself. So yeah, like I think joy, making it through life with joy is definitely a secret weapon. Knowing how to tap into that, which will lead you into peace. So yeah.
Listen, you said a lot of words, but one of the things that you said that I've loved and trying to tap into and definitely like actively had to like train myself to do, because I think especially being in LA, in the industry, whether that's music, film, or television, like this is an industry town. And so people come out here very, they usually were the odd duck wherever they were. And they came here like in that little pool. And now they in the big lake, if not the ocean.
Of all the odd ducks.
Of all the odd ducks.
Yes.
And so, you know, there's a lot of complaints people have about like, LA's so hard to find your tribe, it's so hard to find your people, like da-da-da-da. And then a lot of times people end up being really competitive and really just terrible to each other because the industry really takes precedence over what I think you're talking about, which is having a full life. Like, you making it or succeeding in your given profession should be an additional thing, not the thing. But I think when it becomes the thing, then you start to look at things through a particular lens, yourself through a particular lens, other people through a particular lens. And so I'm really glad that you've been able to cultivate a mindset that things aren't just great for me, but I can appreciate and rejoice and be excited and get joy and when other things happen for other people. Because I feel like that's not everyone's story in LA. Like, you know, some people get really isolated or the jealousy thing just start going off the Richter scale. And that is part of, like, I feel like all of that energy compounds, not just into your person, but the work that you're able to receive or not receive. Because the industry is collaborative by nature. I don't care what you're doing. But if you are in a space where you are, you know, sort of solo dolo, or like, I don't need nobody, or, you know, how is that happening for them, but it's not happening for me? I think it starts to like we're saying, sort of chip away at those notches of joy and happiness and how you're able to enjoy and experience your own life, but how you're able to receive people and their successes as well. So
and then you don't get work. Like
you don't get work. People don't tell you that. These are the things that you can't learn in no class. None of that.
You won't get work because here's the thing. In like Jess was saying, wherever you were probably, you know, the
that
big
person.
fish, that person in a little pond. When you come here, everybody that came here has that same experience. So talent is usually not a problem in LA for the most part. You're going to meet a lot of talented people, but character
is
attitude,
depleting,
work ethic, all those things are really what people are looking for the most part in a good work environment, because you're with those people a lot. You're with those people a lot of hours, a lot of time or whatever. And so if you have 10 talented people to pick from, you're going to pick the person with the best personality because
you like to be around.
Like to be around that person. They're fun to be around. It's easy to work with them. You're not going to pick the difficult person, no matter how talented they are.
Because they're difficult.
So it's a cycle that people have to realize that it's kind of part of.
Now, also, we want to say this just because we ended up in the industry talk, right?
Yeah.
That being said, we're not going to say that there's not a dark side to this town, okay? I think we always try to tell people, because we live here and our family is here, but we've had a lot of people either come in and out of it. Like, we had cycles of people that we've known. And the dark side is real. I'm not going to sit up here, you know what I mean? People end up, because they work hard and they're, you know, super talented and coming from maybe smaller towns. And like, there are people who are exploitive and we'll take advantage of that. There are a lot of predators out here. Sometimes you got to put the predators back in the cage. Just as much as sometimes you got to pop out and show them. You dig? So you have to really be on your sort of P's and Q's, have your head on the swivel, not just willy-nilly trust everybody. But I think having a community is part of that, of people who have maybe been here a little longer, done some things, or know some people to be like, hey, you know, this is the agent that always shows up at the showcase and they don't really know all the people that they're saying that they know, right? Or this is the producer that, you know, they trying to make it seem like they got a lot going on, but let me tell you, that's not the thing. So how have you moved in relation to that? Has that, you know, sort of been a part of your journey in terms of learning how to cultivate joy and happiness, which is also like watching for the snakes since we're on it?
Yes, 100. I have to say that really cultivating joy, or finding that I'm okay with myself and where I am, and being okay and joyous in that, has allowed me not to, you know, look at my success in one kind of light. You know, I get to define what success is to me, not the world, not somebody else, not, you know, the industry in itself. So having that, it has been like a super secret, I say a superpower, but a secret weapon, because I get to just meet people for people, not what you can do for me. And then cultivating those type of relationships, then meeting people just for people. And I'm like, oh, so what is it that you do? And I meet real famous people and I'm like, ooh, I was supposed to know that you were on that show.
But were you though? That's what I was like,
yeah,
but you've had a genuine connection, which they're
right.
You know.
So making genuine connections with people don't feel like you're trying to come at them with things. And then they also give you information. You got it, you know, figure out if it's good or not. But they will definitely try to help versus hinder you. And so genuine connection is what I feel like is missing a lot in the industry, missing a lot with people who come out to try to make it. And when you start creating these genuine connections with people, then it kind of leads you down a different type of path. And because you can avoid a lot of crazy, shady, ain't good for nothing spaces. But then also a lot of times people don't want to. You have people who want to dim your light, and then you have a lot of people who want your light to continue to shine. So therefore, aligning yourself with the right people and being like really discerning, honestly, with that. It takes wisdom to move through here. It's not just show up and everybody's going to love me, or my talent will speak for itself. Having, you know, genuine interest in people and creating connections has been the reason why I can do what I do. And it opens doors.
I love it. Be genuine, be authentic, okay? Find you the right community. And I think you're absolutely right. Like people who, because at the end of the day, like it's the industry, but like people are people, right? Like these people are somebody that came from somewhere. Some of them get drunk off of money and power and fame and like believe in the hype. But you know, as Cat Williams would say, there's God's side and then there's the other side. Okay. Right. And we don't care nothing about what they're doing over there. Right. And it's like, truth. Yeah. And I think people are surprised when they actually come to this town and they find, usually either they come here with genuine intentions, then they get burned, then they either stay burned, or they're like super shocked when they finally come across genuine people. But you're exactly right. Once people who are light see light, then they like, oh, we want to keep that intact, right? Or else this would just be a completely terrible place and no one would ever want to come here. Yeah. So, you know, it's one of those things where like, I think the encouragement is, to your point, be who you are, be happy with who you are, keep that journey and evolution going to discover yourself, rediscover yourself, reinvent yourself, and trying to connect with people who are on the same, literally like wavelength, like with the same level of light that you're on. You know, and that don't mean you're not going to encounter darkness, but it's not going to overtake you. Or the darkness, you got to pick a side. Right. Like, you going to stay in dark or you going to come to the light, because we're not going to be going the
light
back
will
and forth
dispel
feature.
the darkness.
Okay, so we're not gonna do that.
So listen, I want you to talk about music a little bit. The way we connected, or we started to connect, and gosh, it's been at least 7 or 8 years now. I would think 6 longer. Is I am a stage mother, theater mom at heart. So whenever anybody,
For better or for worse.
oh, shut up. So
I'm just keeping it a buck.
it's a truthful chat.
Mhm.
So that's what I am. That's who I am. It's in there. So at church, for example, our church happens to have a lot of very creative, artistic people.
Mhm.
And so one of the things that I try to do for the young people at church is to support their creative endeavors. So I'll never forget the first show I saw you do was at the Sassafras Club. Do you remember that?
I
On
know
La Brea?
that show.
Yeah, we
It was
went.
dope.
So
I felt like I was in New Orleans. Like I walked in because I drive past there all the time. And I was like, what is this speakeasy type? Like I felt like I was not in LA. And I was
Yeah.
clutching my pearls like, oh, okay.
yeah. So saying that to say, I usually try to go and say, I'm going to support the artist. I'm going to see what they do, this, that, and the other. And I fell in love with your voice. I love to hear you sing anything. The lightness of it and the clear the brightness of your voice. Yes. So Sassafras Club, and I was like, oh, she's great. And then so subsequently, we have been to a lot of your shows, show in Burbank, over here, over there, whatever. Because
And thank you.
It's always a good time, and it's always brings joy and does all those things. So talk to us a little bit about the connection between music and the joy. And we're going to talk a little bit later about actually some scientific research about what music does to the brain and your emotions and whatever. But I just want you to share for yourself. And knowing the choirs that you're in, we've been to some amazing outdoor concerts or whatever, because you're one of those singers in LA when somebody's coming and they want a great choir and they want, good backup or whatever.
Real great voices.
Great voices. You're in a couple of organizations like that people call immediately for the Grammys, for the TV shows, for the, Hollywood Bowls, all those things. That choir, that group of people, apparently must be known for their voices, but also for that character that you were just talking about, that people want to work with them. So anyway, talk about music, how you do it with your students, what you see in your students when they get into music, what you see professionally. How does that bring out joy?
First and foremost, music is joy to me. First and foremost, there's something about live music. I am not even kidding. My toes curl. I'm like it just makes me so excited and overwhelmed with oh my gosh, this is amazing. Music, especially live music, it's mind blowing to me, but it's been like that since I was a kid. And so, where there is music, there is joy. In my mind, growing up, where these people are dancing, you got to move. It's also an African holdover. First and foremost, music is in every aspect of life. If you were there in teaching my African American music history class, I was reading, and they were talking about how there in African tradition and customs, there was litigation music. You would go before the judge, and you would actually, to the beat of a drum. I was like, they are going to town in litigation. You have litigation music. You have music for, of course, the hunts. You have music for war. You have music to celebrate the birth of a child. You have the music you hit puberty. You have music, you lost a tooth. There was music for everything. And there is music for everything. And so that's part of who we are innately. And so there's joy in that music. But also, when you were talking about DC6 is one of the groups that we get called a lot to go to a lot of different places. I have the most fun with those people. We love each other, and working in the industry together, light sees light, and we enjoy like genuinely enjoy each other's company and love making music together. And that translates into the jobs that we get a chance to do, the gigs. People call us back because they enjoy working with us because we laugh and have fun with each other. But we also are executing well, so you're going to get
the excellence. The excellence.
You're fun and you're excellent.
And the excellence. So that is that's another key. Once again, the joy being there allows us to get work, but also enjoy what we're doing. So it's compounded joy, 100%. I love who I work with, and then I also love what I do. And because I love what I do, because I love music so much, that's part of my teaching philosophy. Everybody, if you can walk, you can dance. If you can talk, you can sing. That is an African proverb that my mentor in undergrad used to say. And I was like, yeah, so everybody should sing. And everybody can sing. And everybody should get joy out of singing and out of dancing. Now, I didn't say everybody was at the same level. I didn't say everybody can, just tear the house down. But everybody should be able to get as much joy as I do from singing. And in their lives, their daily lives, whether they're at home or if they're out, if they're singing at church, if they're singing to their babies. I have people who come to my class who are just like, I don't want my dogs to howl when I sing. And I'm like, bet, let's go. I want my child to remember me in a good way singing, or I want to be on the next stage and be the next Beyonce. And I'm like, yes, let's go. Whatever the goal is, I just want you to receive joy out of it. Not only joy, but confidence. So that your voice should be heard, can be heard. It's a building of not only joy, but a self-confidence. Because if you believe in your own voice, then you can also go and change the world and believe your voice can change the world, whether you're singing or not. So all of that. And that's how I approach it with my teaching, my daily life, finding joy for myself when I need it, using music as well. So, yeah.
An important message, an important word. You got to use that voice, okay? It matters, particularly in a voting format. Vote, period. Yeah. But also, that's
yeah.
I love that. That's great.
I love that. And we're really big around here about how what you're doing impacts your brain and impacts your emotional state and your moods and all of those things. And so, interestingly enough, they said when you listen to music, it lights up multiple cortexes in your brain. It lights up your auditory cortex. It lights up your motor function. It operates the limbic system in your brain, which then regulates your emotions and your memory. And then now all of that happens just from music, just from singing, just from the songs. It can trigger emotional reward system in your brain because you have the dopamine that comes from the happiness and the singing. So now when that happens, you're able to literally feel more joy because the chemicals that are being released in your body help you to feel that joy. And it elevates your mood and it reduces stress and it can alleviate pain. You see a lot of times in the elderly with dementia or different things like that, they'll put on music because it's affecting all the parts of their brain that you may not be able to get back to. But hearing that song takes your limbic system and your brain back to that place where you were clear and you could think again. And they say training young people in music or anybody, music training helps improve your cognitive function, helps improve the way that you think, your critical thinking skills, and it modulates your brain activity. So it's not just, I sing this song and I feel good. You feel good for a reason. Yeah, the dementia thing is real for people. I've seen instances where people who are totally out of it, people will come on and play an old Frank Sinatra song that they used to sing in that was somebody's favorite song in the 40s, and it will snap the people back. Or since my sister's dealing with dementia, I'm really paying attention to this a lot more. And I saw something on Instagram where the dad was having an episode and the son put the Temptations on. And as soon as he put on I Got Sunshine, his dad just kind of calmed down and started singing and dancing. And then it just took him out of that frenzied place. So it's really healing, really changes what's going on in your brain, the neurons, the cortexes, all the different things function can be changed or improved with music. So that's really important. And for children and adults, I guess musical training helps them to start firing those synapses early. So, you know, I love all this nerdy stuff, but your child has so many synapses when they're born. If they don't use them, they start to decrease. So that's why it's always good. I was throwing out some childhood training. It's always good to let your children try different things to see which one fires for them. And so I think everybody should take piano lessons or music or some kind of musical training, because the other thing, it's critical thinking skills are fired when you're using those parts of the brain that are activated with music. So it's not just feel good. It's not just fun. It's actually healing. It's actually learning. It's actually improving your capacity to learn. So it's really important to get music into your life when and wherever you can.
Exercising your brain. Do you have any interesting stories around any of those sort of incidents as a teacher? Like, have you had anything cool like that?
Well, I don't work with any dementia patients, but with yeah. But with
I'm giving you that for a side hustle. You could go to the nursing home and sing to the people.
Hey, but that's just joy by itself, and that's giving back. You know, one thing that I do know, and as you were talking about, like really the critical thinking aspect of it is a lot of times people are like, we have a voice, we sing, right? You open your mouth and sound just comes out. I'm like, nope. There's so many things to think about, technique and training wise, to like optimize your voice. And so when I talk to my students, I'm like, we're problem solving, continuously problem solving. Hey, oh, my voice isn't doing this today, because your voice changes depending on the humidity, depending on the temperature, depending on your hormones, depending on if you got enough rest. There are so many variables, and you still want to be consistent, right? And produce the same type of sound. So you're constantly like, okay, I need this amount of air to hit that type of note. Oh, I'm not going to be able to hit that note. So then I'm going to alter into this. This is where improv comes in so well. You know, okay, these are my other alternates or the options that I can actually use. So you're on stage, something happens in the audience. How do you problem solve? Mic goes out. We're constantly learning how to adjust to situations. So I need your critical thinking. I need your thought processes there. So, but also I'm giving you all of this so you can remember it and be able to problem solve by yourself. So it really does take a lot of things that I teach my students. I pivot and say, this is a life lesson. This is how it shows up in so many other areas of your life as well. I used to teach at a studio one-on-one, and I was teaching piano. And I had a young lady who came in, baby girl, who came in, and she had performance anxiety, even just to play for me. That also showed up with test anxiety in her math class. And so I would say, okay, this is what you do. And this is how we work through it here in piano class. Okay, when you go to math class, how can you take this test and work through it in the same way? And she would bring back her math scores all excited because she's worked through this anxiety, this test/performance anxiety as well. So it's a lot of like critical thinking and bringing, there's a lot of gaps that can be bridged with music.
This is great.
That's dope. Yeah, I mean, craft, I feel like any craft is all about learning how to problem solve. Like, yes, you're fine-tuning whatever said skill is for you as the instrument or your voice as the instrument. But yeah, I think a lot of it is okay, everything didn't go according to plan. Like, now what you gonna do? Like, you know what I mean? How are we gonna fix this? How are we gonna problem solve? So that's always a great skill to have.
All right, that brings me to, I'm so excited because we've been talking about this for a long time, but you launched your website, and your studio where people can come to you and you will help them do what? Discover their voice, enhance their voice. I love the name of it. It's called Soul Joy Studio. You know, that's my favorite sound. You won't break my soul. So I feel like
to the queen.
Soul Joy Studio, when I saw it, I was like, that's what the people need in the 2024 is a little soul joy. So talk to us about that a little bit.
Yes, Soul Joy Studios, that is our heart's desire, is to really help people find a safe space, one, to be able to present their own work. Singing, which people forget, is so vulnerable, and presenting your work. And so having a safe space to work on yourself and present your art and take it to the next level and polish it. So we do something with artist philosophy, like who are we? What are we trying to present? What are we giving to the world? Helping you prompt and create your own artist philosophy and what that might look like for a career path for you, right? So working with that vocal technique, vocal myths, we got to sing from your diaphragm. That's just one of them, okay? There is diaphragmatic breathing, but
wait. I'm not supposed to be good. So Sister Mary Clarence lied to me from the diaphragm. That's not true.
Well, if you don't use your diaphragm, you're dead. First of all, the diaphragm is the second most important muscle in your body, your heart, and then your diaphragm. You're not breathing without it. You don't need to sing from it. It's involuntary as well. So therefore, you're not about to make your heart beat, and you're not about to make that diaphragm move like that. You know what I mean? So what you can do.
But thank you.
So we do need lower diaphragmatic breathing, yes, but you're not singing from, because a lot of people don't even know what the diaphragm is or where it is. So how you singing from it? Riddle this. So anyway, we go through that.
Lessons you can learn.
Block. Shots fired. Shots fired.
Everybody says that, don't trust them.
Everybody singing theology is off, but go ahead.
So with that, I was a bio major too before, so I love the anatomy of the body and the voice and how it all works together. So we will learn that. So, but vocal health as well, what to do, how to take care of your instrument. We also will go through improv and stage performance, and then we'll end with a master class. Our workshop always ends with a master class. So if you're working on something that needs to be, you're about to do a recording of, and you want to make sure it's spot on, you get to sing it and you get feedback immediately about, you know, how it works. Does it do well? A lot of times as performers, we don't get a chance to do a performance in front of live people, a live performance before the actual performance. This is what I love about the workshops that I'm actually getting a chance to put on, is because where do you get all of those things, first of all? But second of all, how can you do it at a music venue on a stage and get real practice in front of people? Because we have to practice performing. It is a muscle. And so a lot of times we practice in the mirror. We hope it sounds good. We practice with the band, and then you get on the stage and it's the first time that you're doing it. Besides sound check.
Yes. In front of the audience. Yeah.
Yes. It's not in front of the audience, which is always a variable of your nerves and your stage, all the things and the excitement. So having a live audience, but also getting a chance to do it with the sound system. How am I going to use the microphone? How am I going to walk across the stage? How am I going to take up space? All of those things. I love the fact that we do this at a music venue where people get to do it on a stage, give a real performance, and get real feedback before they actually get a chance to perform it somewhere. So that was part of my heart's desire to make that happen. So that's our workshops, and that's what we do.
That's awesome. It's like on the job training. Okay, it's like I come out of like the theater space, and you'd be surprised. Like first of all, it's one of my mottos. As Dr. Lee, aka Orlando Jones, said in Drumline, why do we rehearse? We rehearse so that it looks like when we're doing the thing, it's the first time we've done it. We do all this work to make it look like we do no work. But the nerves of like the actual first time you're doing something is literally the first time you're doing something. And then people gonna be like, I didn't like it. I couldn't hear. I didn't. Don't skip sound check. Like, you gotta put all the elements in place to get the level of excellence that you want. So I'm glad that performers are gonna have Listen, anytime, sometimes you get up to speak in front of a crowd, sometimes your voice get like, so I can only imagine singing.
Also, if we watch Beyonce's Homecoming, they built a stage. They practiced on the thing. There is a quality. There is a real value in being able to practice the way you're going to actually perform, not just out of that space. So I'm like, let's do it. Let's make it happen.
That is literally one of my. First of all, I'm just a student of the Queen. Period. Like, my dream goal. I keep saying it out loud is to work with Beyonce. I don't even have to really I mean, it would be nice to be paid. I just want to watch the project from beginning to end because it gives you the opportunity where you say you practice it the way you hope it's going to go, or like actually on the stage that you're going to do it, because then there are no surprises. Again, it's problem solving. It's like, you remember when they were on the pyramid and they were doing all the things, and she was like, I can't hear the stomps, the claps, like that's part of the experience. So then the team had to go back and figure out, like, okay, how do we make sure that we can hear that and feel that, and the audience can be a part of that, because that's part of the experience. But if you just been practicing in the black box theater for six months, and then you're like, oh wait, now we outside in the amphitheater, and there's all these elements of things that you have. You look crazy. Everybody looks crazy, and all your work is phenomenal. So I'm glad that they're going to have the opportunity to be able to do that. For singers and performers, because live music is important. It's healing, as we've been talking about. It's amazing. And so, when people be putting their craft out there, they want it to be excellent.
Yeah. Excellent. Let's move in the experience of excellence.
Excellent. I have a question before we get to the other thing. We talk about this all the time on the show. It comes up. We've talked a lot about joy and happiness and gratitude. But I always like to highlight or spotlight or give a little shine to the person who might not feel like they're worthy of that or they deserve that, right? I think we all like sort of assume like everybody wants all the same things, and we kind of do. But for the person who has like never, maybe they've just had like a super traumatic life, or a lot of crazy things have happened to them, or they just don't feel like they're worthy of joy and happiness and gratitude. I don't know if you've ever been in that place, but like, what would you say to those people to be able to be like, I know what I'm talking about might sound crazy now, but we don't just like to talk to people who have like already arrived. Like, okay, maybe this is the first time you're hearing this. It's the first time you're ever exposed to, your light, your energy, someone like you that looks like, a beautiful Black girl from Birmingham, be like, I'm worthy of this. Like, I deserve this too. Like, I should have this. So what would you say to the people who are like, I hear y'all, but I don't know if that's for me. I don't know if I should even be like on a journey to have that. What would you say to that person?
Wow, baby, it is for you, because you are special. Like, everything that you bring to this world can't anybody else bring. And everybody don't have to like you. Everybody don't have to love you. But what you have is something amazing, and can nobody replicate that in any type of way. So you walk in that, you shine in that, you embrace that, and let that be your life force. And you walk into rooms and show them who you are, and expect them to receive who you are, because you're going to give them who you are today, tomorrow, and the day after that. So embrace it, love it, be you. And it's not based off of who receives you, because some people don't know how to receive themselves. So you receive yourself today. You love on yourself today. You speak to yourself today. Don't wait on somebody else to say it to you. Say, I am who I'm supposed to be. I am amazing. I am loved. I am cherished by myself, if nobody else. And then you walk and you hold that head high, knowing that you are spectacular. You shine inside and out, side to side, front to back, and show them what you're working with. That's what I would say.
And if that's from a New Orleans native, show them what you're working with, okay? We all know in our generation where that phrase was popular, and that song brings us all great joy, okay? You got to show them what you're working with. You got to do it. Thank you. That was beautiful. So we just want to, do that. First of all, we got to plug this, okay? Since you just gave your high-minded speech about how you should walk in your greatness, okay? You're going to be walking in your greatness, okay, at your birthday show.
Yes.
Okay, so tell us about this. Yes, for the photo. Is this a painting? What is this?
Painting.
This is a painting by an amazing artist named Chantel DeFelice. I actually commissioned her to do a work for me, and she came back with this amazing picture. She found some pictures on Facebook and then was like, hey, I want to do a portrait of you. And I was like, oh my gosh. And literally cried. And then I became Plant Lady thus forth. And she is a phenomenal artist who does portraits, paintings, all types of things. But I love her because she does it on wood. And that is a wood piece, a piece of wood. And then she painted my portrait on top of it. And so
say her name one more time, just for the people.
Chantel DeFelice. Chantal.
Beautiful, right? Chantal. That's super dope. So do you have is this hanging in your apartment?
Yes, it is hanging in my apartment.
Okay. All right. Anyway, tell us more about the birthday show.
Birthday show, woo woo woo. My birthday is actually July 28th, but also beautifully, I'm booked for 2 shows on that day. So we are doing August 4th at the Nova 3 not amphitheater, but it's Nova 3 concert venue. It's amazing. It's a really nice place, but this is special to me because it's my first solo show. I have had the opportunity to sing with so many amazing artists, but I also feel like at this time in my life, it's time to step out and share the original music that I have been percolating and working with and, bubbling over now to share. And so I get to share all of this music with everybody that I love. It's free. Just come and vibe out. We will always take a nice little Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, a birthday donation. But with that being said, it's free. Just come have good vibes, a little cupcake or 2, and enjoy some new music. That's all.
We love it. Let me show one more time without us so y'all can see it. So this is Erin's solo show. Okay, the first solo show. Okay, August 4th, 6:30, 7046 Hollywood Boulevard. If you're gonna be in the City of Angels. Okay, actual birthday though is July 28th. Okay, just so you know. If you pop out, you know what I mean, a little cash donation or a little birthday message on the gram or something. Do that. But come through. We'll definitely be there. Okay. And
I promise you it will be a good time. You will leave with fun. You will leave with music. You will leave with joy.
All of this you get
your
it right now.
Your brain will be percolating. Your cognitive function will be improved. All of the things. Yeah. Good.
And the whole point of the show is just to give joy. To give joy and encouragement. That's it.
There you go.
Joy and encouragement.
Erin's website is souljoystudio.com. Is that right?
Yes. Studios. Right. Yes. Souljoystudios.com.
Studios.com. SOULJOY studios.com. And we'll put that somewhere.
It'll be in the description box or in the show notes and all those things. You'll have all the things that you need. Okay.
Yes.
To connect.
Last question,
our favorite question. Go ahead.
What does create generational wellness mean to you?
It truly means finding out who I am, or individuals are, but who I am personally, so that I can create good habits and pass those on to my children and the people around me. Because if we can pass on generational trauma and we understand how deep the impact of that is and how it informs traditions, how it informs gatherings, it informs so many different things, why not create wellness traditions that inform our environment and our experience that will be passed down through generations? But that's me showing a fulfilled life, a whole life. If I am living whole and providing access to another generation about what looking whole is, and those types of habits that we cultivate. Sometimes we feel like kids don't get it yet, so we don't show them how to do the things. And so actually giving them access to these habits that we figure out when we get to be adults. So they ain't got to figure it out later, but they start this. That's where starting and making sure that I understand who I am, but then making sure the children, that the youth are understanding who they are at early ages, that they're creating places of peace for themselves, that they're meditating, that they're tapping into their true self and being and having autonomy of themselves and the things that they want in their life. I feel like that's creating generational wellness.
I love it. Hey, you're right. If we can pass on the generational trauma, okay, and maybe some generational wealth, okay, we're not negating the bag. But the wellness, if you got the wellness, you can have all the other things that are possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You won't squander it or lose it.
I love it. And I know, because I know you, that you've also had opportunity to go back to the generations that were before you and help them heal from some things too, that there have been conversations, and that's really important. Okay. Yeah, to go back to those older generations and have conversations that maybe nobody was having with them when they were younger, because we're the change. We always say we're the change that everybody's been waiting for, kind of. And so it's backwards, it's forward, and it's backwards, right?
It is. It is. It truly is.
Good.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank
y'all.
Bright orange. Thank you for bringing
the plans, the things,
joy and energy.
I know. I feel better.
It's good.
Already. I always feel better when I spend time with you. So I'm so excited that you agreed to come and do this today.
And you're welcome anytime. If you want to be like, can we do a create generational wellness workshop, something, whatever you would do. Or this platform is your platform. If you like, hey, I want to talk about this on the Truthful Chat, feel free, come through. We're here.
I love it. Also, I'm holding this workshop, but it can be a collaboration in something even larger. Yes, I'm here for this.
We love a collaboration.
Yes. Or
we've never done a closing clink, but I guess we can because you had to get a mug. You said
yes.
So, I done drank all my little juices.
Oh, so cute. Clink. All right.
Clink. Well, thank you so much, and we'll see you later.
Thank you.
And now we're gonna close. We'll be right back. All right.
Yeah, man. What can I say? Okay.
She's a good time. I'm telling you. She's a joyful.
We hope you feel
joyful.
But we're not supposed to sing from my diaphragm. I'm a little. I don't know about anyone else, but I'm still very much in shock by that.
Oh gosh,
that movie. It's 30 some odd years old, and I'll find out part of it is a lie. It still brings me joy though. So, what can I say? Anywho, thank y'all so much for joining us. I hope you are gonna listen to some music. Okay, get your endorphins, dopamine, all the things going.
All your cortex is moving in the right direction.
And find things that bring you joy. Like, let's start that in the comments. Like, what are the things that bring us joy? Music for sure for me. That goes without saying. You know. But anything that brings us joy. Walking, we're big beachheads around here because we live in a city where that's possible.
Any day of the week.
But listen, it's summertime, man. Your fun and your joy quota and quotient should be going up, and up. So we want to thank Miss Erin Monique for being here. Hand claps again. Thank you so much. She should come back to the show, right? We should do something. We should figure something out. Okay. Hit the birthday show with us. We'll definitely be there. Now, if you're gonna come, act right. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay. Don't be like, we love Truthful Chats, so we here, but you acting crazy. Just act together. That's all I act well. Okay.
And hit up Aaron's Cash App.
And hit up the Cash App. Okay. Give a love offering. Don't just come and eat and not tip. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, we'll be here next week. More fun, more adventure, more July things. Okay.
Joyful July.
Joyful July, man. It's fun. It's fun. Also, these may be the last couple months that we have before America the season finale is up. So we should really just live it up. Okay. You was talking about Papa Biden earlier. I said, don't talk about Papa, okay? He done saved us. Y'all had ample time to find somebody. Don't make this old man do this.
Well, I don't even want to talk about it.
Because it's going to kill our fun. Anyway, whatever we're talking about next week.
It won't be that. It'll be something related to fun. Amen.
Voting is fun. Let's go ahead and say that. Anyway, whatever we're doing, you ain't going to know. If you're not subscribed on YouTube, follow us on IG, Facebook, fan base. We really got to get our likes up on the page for the Facebook because we can't go live there anymore. Crazy.
We only need 100.
We only need 100. So if you are watching us on YouTube, listening to us in the auditory universe, we love y'all. Please rate, review, but also subscribe on YouTube for sure. Follow on the Facebook page. We're still at Create Generation Wellness on all the things. We want to be able to go live on Facebook, baby, for those of y'all that's your native platform. Okay. So you want to be able to be wherever you are on the interwebs. With that, we'll bid you adieu. And we'll see you next week.